had left the caboose, so he had drunk it and filled the bottle up with water and put, I don't know, something like a wee drop of tea in it, to colour it, to make it sort of like Chardonnay off yellow sort of thing. So everybody's taking a sip of this, and what's that? And he's laughing his head off, in the background. And he went, "Don't worry," he says. Whenever I'm back, I'll replace it, sort of thing. And my dad was, "You wee beast, yeah." And but we all laughed about it. We really, really, really did laugh about it. It was brilliant. So if you can sort of switch forward then about 6 months, maybe less, um, the kibbutz thing for Robert got a bit too much, being away, because we were all home birds. Don't like to be away from the family too much. So we arranged to get him home. And he came home, everything was great. At the time I was working, Morgan's Removals, my Aunt Colleen and my Uncle Des had organised for me to be able to work for this. It's Morgan's Removals, were a furniture moving company. And when Robert came back from the kibbutz, I was already working there, and then Robert came back and he started working along with me. And then on through the week, everything was dead on, above board, up, go to work. But on a Friday, we would always buy a wee drink, have a couple of drinks in the house, and then work out where we're going to go afterwards. So this night, anyway, I said to him, "Robert, I'm a bit tired, mate, so I'm gonna go," because it was heavy lifting. We're lifting furniture and tea chests full of books and ornaments and all sorts of things. So I was knackered, and he was still full of beans, but he was younger than me anyway. So I said, "You go to the off license and get whatever you. I'm gonna go home, and I'm gonna lie down for a wee while." This was like about 6 o'clock or whatever. And then we'll work out, maybe go to the Rosetta afterwards. I think it was about 82, because I think I remember that was it was around about the time of the Northern Ireland beating Spain in the World Cup. I remember that. But anyway, so Robert went to the wee off license, which has always been at Bellsbridge. So he went there, and I went on up home, and got in, and lay down on the bed. And then Robert came in, and he said, John, because I was dozing off, and he said, "Come on, we'll get ready." And I said, "Well, you go and get your bath first." So we had to get baths back then. You get your bath first. It'll give me another wee moment to lie and sleep, and you then, whenever you finished your bath, then I'll to tell you the truth, I was going to get into the same water to save me running another one. So Robert hung his coat up on the back of the bedroom door, and then he went off, and whatever he had bought, I think it was a bottle of Belfast and a quarter bottle of whiskey or something, but that was in his coat, hung it up. He went into the bath, and I went back to sleep again. So my dad came past the door and saw the light, and then he looked in, and he said, "You okay, son?" And I went, "Yeah, I'm just a bit tired, Dad. I'm going to have a wee nap." And Robert's in the bath, and then we're going to go out, and my dad says, "That's okay, son. Get your head down. You worked hard all week." And he went to close the door over. Now, I dozed off, but unbeknownst to me, when I dozed off and my dad closed the door, he heard Robert's coat hitting the back of the door. So he was going, "What the hell is that?" Like a bump. So he looked in, and Robert was in the bath, if you remember. And my dad looked inside the coat, and he saw this bottle of Buckfast, and he went, "Ha ha 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 ha." So he rolled down the stairs and poured the Buckfast into like a jug and put that in the fridge. and then he filled the Buckfast bottle up because you couldn't. Buckfast bottles are they're opaque, sort of brown, so you can't see what color. So he filled the Buckfast bottle up with water and turned it on, or the cap on, and put it back into Robert's coat. So, but then Billy Montgomery, and so he was. My dad had this all set up, where Robert was going to discover the water and all that carry on. So my dad was going down to the hill foot with Billy Montgomery, Billy Mo, and off they went. And my dad had forgot clean all about the dun, and filling it up or whatever. But he must have been walking down to the bar with Billy, and because it was just down the Castle Road and thinking, what do you hear? I'll tell you about when we get back, sort of thing. So I woke up anyway, and I says, right, it's my turn to get into the bath, okay? And Robert got out of the bath, and he got in, and he was getting himself all sorted out and cleaned or whatever. And he says to me, do you want a wee drink? But I says, no, I'm only waking up. I'll get my bath, and then you have a drink. Sure, it's fine. You have a drink, and then whatever. So I get into the bath. And I'm laying there, sort of soaking and getting myself all sorted out and whatever. And then I just heard this, and I went, and I'm going, what the hell? So my dad had obviously left and wondering, what's all that about? So I got myself dried off and got my clothes on, went out. And but Robert obviously wasn't going to come into the bathroom because I was, naked. But he'd left the house anyway, and I said to myself, "What the hell is he?" So I got dressed and I went out, and I said, "He's nowhere to be seen." So I was walking down Burren Way, very close to Geordie Beth's house, and my uncle David and my granny used to live in Burren Way as well. So my uncle David had been in the off license, buying a few beers to bring up home, and he saw me and he went, "Thank God," he says, "get you down to that off license now, the one at Bell's Bridge." And I'm going, "Why, what's wrong?" He says, "Your brother's in there, standing with a bottle, saying that he's been short change. They give him a bottle of water, and he's paid £5 for a bottle of water, and he's going to wreck a place." So I rolled down, and I never even got to the place in town. Out came Robert, and he had a bottle, a new one. So whatever had happened in the off license, the owner had just obviously went, I'm not gonna get involved, with this or whatever. So I mean, the guy might be, because our Robert was so convincing, because he didn't know, obviously. So if he had have known, if he had put drunk the Buckfast and then put water himself, he would have looked dodgy. But he was able to be so convincing because he didn't have a clue about what my dad had done, and so so I saw him, and I explained to him, and I says, "Mate, there's obviously been some sort of a joke played here, So we went down to Hillfoot instead of the Rosetta, and went in, and my dad was sitting there, and I said to him, what's this about, water in the Buckfast?"